Um, Another topic I have some question about is the topic about the Taliban and the media. So first of all, there was one question. How do you see the media coverage about the things what were going on in Afghanistan or still going on? How do you think the media covers it in Europe? Do they show the truth, or is it just one part of it? Or yeah, because sometimes most of the time media just shows something which is their job.
Okay, I think Natasha, they even cannot cover the truth, because they cannot go to see what is the reality, you know. I just very strangely, when I listen to some news, they are saying Taliban say this, Taliban say, for example, we care about women's education, or Taliban is changed. I think this is completely wrong. You know, the reality is something else. Just 2 days ago, 6 women rights activists in Mizar, they were killed. Or, you know, how cruel the Taliban is, who have killed a woman, a police woman who was pregnant in Gore province. Or, you know, the rage of poverty is being gone very fast. And people, what they do is they have sold their daughters, you know. How crazy is it that a father has sold his 9-year-old daughter to get married with a man who was 55 years old? Or a girl who was 10 years old, she was sold to a man who was 77 years old. See how crazy is it? How the man could dare to get married with that? So these are all Taliban's mindset, and Taliban have a role in this. So we don't know about the villages or the suburbs. How is the life of women and the educated people? How do they live? And I see many people are just forced to leave their life, their homes, because they're forced to live here, and they are now living on the hot deserts or cold deserts. Or there may be many girls who are forced to get married with Taliban members, and they are abused sexually. But you know, where is the media to cover them? Where is the media? You know, even just to give you an example, 2 of my own friends, they were just my friends. They were nearly to be kidnapped by Taliban. The good thing, thanks to God, there were some people who helped her to just get out of the situation. I think the media never cannot cover what is the reality in Afghanistan. Taliban are never changed. So right now, the schools are closed. Offices are only related to men. No woman works in office. There is no workforce is a woman. You know, I think schools, so girls are kept out of being to school. Or I think they don't have the freedom of expression, even. They don't have the freedom to work. They don't have the freedom to be in politics. So I think Taliban just announced their cabinets, but unfortunately there is no woman there existing.
That's unbelievable.
Yes, I think so.
Thank you for showing your view, because you have more, like, you have contacts there and you are from there, so you understand the situation, you know what's going on. Oh my God. Just one question. You said 20 years ago the Taliban started to get power.
I think 20 years ago they before, actually, I think it was on 1996 they got a power. I think so. I think No, 20 years ago they got out of Afghanistan, and before it means that 20 years ago, yes,
Yeah.
they had, I think, 5 to 6 years they have their government here, and so when I was born, it means 23 years ago, Taliban were already there. That's why my mom says, I never told that I have born a girl till Taliban got out of there.
But when was the time when Afghanistan was still like free without Taliban?
Actually, can you ask again? Sorry.
In which year until which year was Afghanistan like free without the Taliban?
I think 2002 or 2001, because the last thing that Afghanistan have destroyed, it was Bamiyan Buddhas, because they destroyed or they excluded Bamiyan Buddhas in 2021. So still they were there.
Yeah.
I think 2002 or 2003.
So then it started all. So before there was no Taliban.
Before.
Yeah.
I think actually the story of this Taliban is very complicated. You know, once there was the Soviet Union who have fought in Afghanistan together with the communist government. So there were some jihadians who have fought against the Soviet Union, and these jihadians, after they won and the Soviet Union left Afghanistan, so some of these jihadians, they took the power. Some of them retired and just turned back to their normal life or daily life. And some of them went against the government because they also wanted to have the power. So Taliban's leader, he was a jihadian and he wanted the power. So as he couldn't take the power, he went on against the government. So not only being against the government every day, so they were killing people. So I think, so how do they start? I think the story started after 1996 or 1998. So I think the story. So as they fought against the government, then once they could capture the government, as they could do this right now. So I think it was 1996. I think so. So they just captured and started to in that time, and things like that.
And who financed the Taliban?
Okay, I think the people who it's very complicated for me to and this makes me crazy, you know. I know, for example, countries like Pakistan finance Taliban. Countries like Iran, Pakistan, they finance Taliban. Even I think China, even Russia, or I think internationally, the governments finance Taliban. Otherwise, see, Natasha, how Taliban, a small group, could capture Afghanistan.
Exactly.
So if the government internationally wanted to do something, surely they could do. But so they empowered them and they just introduced them internationally. And once they were famous internationally, they were accepted internationally. Then the confidence of our soldiers were weakened. So they captured Afghanistan, and the governments internationally just watched quietly, telling nothing. They didn't watch Afghanistan, who were captured by Taliban. They watched the death of humanity.
Yeah. Thank you for explaining that, because that's always because exactly this is never covered in the media, because if they would show it in the Western media, people would understand what was going on.
Yes.
And like this, they just show the bad Muslims, the bad tourists, the fucked up Middle East, and people think, oh yeah, the Muslims, and then it's done.
Yes.
This is how they can control the Western minds.
I think so, yes.
Thank you for explaining it. And then about the future in Afghanistan, what do you think will happen? How long do you think can the Taliban stay or rule?
I don't think more than a year, because
Mhm.
right now they're doing actually worsely, and the poverty is increasing numerously, and I think they don't know they are illiterate. Illiterate people cannot govern, cannot administrate. So I think very soon they will end up. And I always believe after a dark day, after a dark night, there is a light day. So I think they would finish, and they would finish this time very badly. And I hope so. And I pray for this. And I do my best, and I'm hopeful for the future of Afghanistan, for the future of myself.
Yeah.
And I'm not hopeless. I'm working hard to do what I was doing before. And I'm sure we will also have the good days.
Yeah, inshallah.
Inshallah.
There was a news a few days ago that the Taliban forbid the foreign currencies in Afghanistan. Do you know?
Okay.
Does the Taliban just want to get all the currency? Because I know in many countries with weak currencies, like local currency, they trade in foreign currency to have a stable amount of their money. And I guess it would be the same, or it was the same in Afghanistan too.
I think Taliban are being done according to their likes. Whatever they don't like, they can do that. If I didn't hear this news, but if you heard, this may happen too. For Taliban, nothing is impossible. Whatever they want at any time they want to do, they want to do that. Just like, for example, some of my friends say, Fatima, when we're sitting at home and someone knocks the door, we have two scenarios in our minds. Whether there's a member of Taliban who wants us to do something, or who wants to do something with us, or maybe a relative or someone who is familiar to us. And we pray for the one who is a little positive and not a Taliban member. So see, right now, I think if they want to do that, yeah, surely they would do that too. And right now, people, they don't have work, they lost their job, but each month they have to pay for Taliban just in order to be alive. So they are paying, they are created by God, but they are paying to be alive to the Taliban. Wow. So I think no media covered this. You lost all things, all of your things. You just don't have a job. So when you don't have a job, where is the money?
Yeah, you can't pay.
And yeah, in villages, those who don't have money, they have to pay taxes by, for example, grains.
It's so unhuman.
Yeah.
Yeah, then there's another question regarding the clothing of the women. Because that's always a topic. And I just wanted to say something else before you talked about Islam and how
Okay, yeah, and not to stop before that, if I tell you something, my phone's charge is my phone is going to be off, so I need to do something.
So welcome back with battery. The people's mindset was built by the Taliban during the last 20 years. And I think that's a very, very important thing to know for everyone, that there is not just Islam, there is not just Christianity, there is not just whatever. It's always a lot of different things what are creating a mindset. So it's your family, it's your environment, it's your government, it's your religion, it's your culture and the tradition. And these are things who were created over the past thousands of years. So, like as you said, the past 20 years, the mindset was also created by Taliban. It doesn't mean just because someone is now killing in the name of Taliban and Allah that it is because of the Islam. It's the
Yeah.
mindset they put in the people. It's like the media.
Yes.
And I think that's a very, very interesting thing to know or to keep in mind every time when we see something or when we reflect our own behavior, culture, tradition, and also the clothing. Because before I traveled to Middle East, and actually at the end of 2019, beginning 2020, I learned so much about Islam, and I was able to understand so many things, and I realized or I learned that there is religion also in Saudi Arabia because it's still very traditional, everything
Yeah.
there. So it's always the religion, the tradition, and the culture. So in Saudi, they told me that wearing like a niqab and showing only the eyes has not really to do something with the religion. It's more a cultural thing because the religion only says you have to cover the sensitive I don't know the word.
Yes.
Sensitive parts.
Sensitive parts.
Sensitive parts is like the breast and the lower part of the body. And as long as this is protected, you are dressed properly according to the Quran. But there are so many different ways. So in the Taliban, they want women to wear a burqa, right? To just cover
Yes.
the whole body and only have this little net in front of the eye.
Yeah.
Is this only a Taliban thing, or is it also a traditional conservative way of dressing in Afghanistan?
Actually, if even I tell you it's a traditional and conservative ways of just mindset of people, it also remains from ever Taliban's era last time. You know, before Taliban, women were clothing themselves as they liked, according to their likes. But you know, this burqa, or even if we wear the chador to cover our face, is also Taliban's likeness. So Taliban actually wants us to go on according to their likeness. Mm-hmm. This is, I think, nowhere in Holy Quran it's told that you have to wear a chador or you have to wear a burqa, you have to cover your face or things like this. I think even according to Quran, we would just like to dress ourselves as we are relaxed, and just Quran also offers this. But Taliban are saying this, you know. So I'm so sorry for this, that right now Taliban even do not allow women to go on according, do not allow to wear what to wear. It means right now, I'm sorry that, but women are also forced to, even they don't have the right to wear the clothes that they want. So this is so saddening, and to just, I think burqa for me is just like a jail. I tried it and it was hard for me to bear it for a moment. So I think it's a kind of punishment for the woman. I'm sure no woman in Afghanistan like to wear that. If the family or Taliban let them to dress them according to their like, or to according what they themselves want. So surely they don't want that. They don't want that burqa or to cover their face. There are maybe, for example, exceptions, but these exceptions. So this is, I have no problem with they themselves like. But what about all those women in Afghanistan? They don't like to do that, but they have to do just because of Taliban, or their family just accepted the mindset of the Taliban.
Yeah. And I also think it's like with everything, when you got told to do something, you would not accept, but you have to accept because otherwise you would have problems. Then you start to change yourself. And for example, if I realized that when I was in Iran, I had to wear like you, a hijab as well. Yeah. And I realized how it feels unsafe when you show your body again. Like if I travel from Iran, from covered Iran, even with my mindset, and even if I'm not Muslim and it's just a touristy thing, when I was in Iran for 2 months, I had to wear always a hijab. And then I went to Thailand where it was very hot and I used my summer clothes, like with shorts and t-shirt. I felt naked because it was something I was not used the past 2 months. And I always knew that it is wrong in the common meaning or in the common sense. So then I thought, wow, it's so bad for the women because we are all born naked, women and men, and it's natural. There's nothing sexual about it. There's nothing wrong about it. It's created by the universe or by God or whoever. And when women can be free, they often can't be free because they have to learn how it is safe to show them without hijab, with shorts, with whatever they would like to. And that sometimes when people say, oh, women should be free, like, yes, they should be free. But the thing is, you cannot do it with the law because it starts like everything. It starts inside. I have to feel safe in my body. I have to be safe or feel safe in this world. And then I can show and express myself how I am or I think I am. And
yes, I think so. You know, when for example Taliban forced women to wear burqa, so and it means they are not doing this because of Islam. They are doing this because of Taliban. You know, so I think the most the greatest ways to let them dress themselves as they want, as I am relaxed. For example, some people are asking me, Fatima, right now you are in Italy, and why don't you, for example, put your scarf away? I just tell them because I like this. I'm comfortable when I have my scarf. So I think, or anyone else, for example, a person like you don't like this scarf, or just like me, the woman who came from Afghanistan, they didn't like this scarf, they throw it away. So I think they have to do as they like. For me, for example, I like this, so I just don't wear it because I never see Islam have just say that you have to wear a scarf. I don't wear it because of Islam. I wear it because I like, and I think this is proper for me. So with this idea, I wear it. And I don't care how other people dress because I know they like that. Yeah. But it makes me so sad when Taliban decide how women in Afghanistan have to dress or have to have their clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one question someone asked, what would it make with you if you imagine your new dress or like a one-day dress would be like a t-shirt and a short skirt? How would you feel if you would wear it? How would you feel if you would go outside and walk through Italy?
Actually, for me, I don't imagine it. It means how can I say? Because I would never do that. So I even cannot imagine how do I feel because I don't at all. I don't want to do that because this is the way I as a, for example, Muslim woman, I want to dress myself. This is the way I like this, and I am comfortable with that. So I won't be comfortable if I do that. Just like, for example, if you want to wear this scarf, you won't be comfortable, or sometimes you maybe like that. But for me, I like this, and I don't think I would do that. So when I don't want to do that, or when even in the future I won't do that. So I don't think I can say how would I feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was all regarding the clothing. Yeah. Then you already talked a lot about the tourism. Yeah, then what is your dream in life?
Yes. So the nice question, the nicest question. My dreams are always dreams. The dreams that I had dreamed in Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, I dreamed to continue my job as a tour guide and then have my own. I wanted to be the first female who have a tourism company and organize tours to Afghanistan. Then also at the same time a tourism organization who teach tour guides. I wanted to be the woman who have a company who all the employees or tour guides are women and just offer services to people, to travelers. So I still dream of doing that, and also at the same time I always love to be a journalist, and not a journalist who work on a TV show or to be popular. I wanted to write on women's stories because I love being a journalist, because for the first time it was journalists who taught me the word of education, and that was the beginning of my future. That is where my future started from that, and right now I'm in this point. So I'm dreaming of that, and I want to be a journalist. But yes, surely in Afghanistan it seemed very impossible, but I was always dreaming to be a traveler who travel all the countries of the world. But here I don't see it. In Afghanistan also I didn't see that impossible, because I was sure one day it will happen. But here also I'm dreaming of that, and I want to be a traveler who travel all the countries of the world. Maybe not very soon, but I would start that. And also I just want to continue empowering women, giving them awareness to do something for themselves and to follow their own ways, and to use their creativity and their talents and their abilities.
Nice. Thank you for sharing your dreams.
You're welcome.
And how can we imagine your everyday life now in Italy? What are you doing the whole day besides eating rice?
The whole day, okay. According to, actually, I don't have my planning notebook here, but I could tell you more clearly. Mostly when I just get up, I mostly I'm busy with learning the language, because without learning the language, Italians also don't understand English a lot. Mm-hmm. So without the language, I cannot do anything. I cannot start university or anything else. So most of the time, I'm busy with learning just the language. And also I still have my schedule on book reading, so I just read a book, and at the same time I'm just working on preparing some contents from Afghanistan, because I want to open a YouTube channel, give virtual tours. And this, and also I watch some YouTube videos, because YouTube, this is the biggest and the cheapest, I think, university where we can learn things. So I also have an online course on journalism, because most of the universities do not offer journalism field. So I may not have that. I may, for example, study tourism management in universities, so I can do this journalism so I'm also going on with the journalism course. And also I'm watching some videos on learning how to be a photographer, and some videos on video editing, and so many other things, cooking. Yes, doing the houseworks.
Yeah, looks like you're very busy, but with very interesting and meaningful things.
Also working on my English language, because I think after a long time I didn't speak that, and even because when I talk to, for example, some Italians, they speak a little and they don't consider the grammatical parts. I think my English is also going to be worse, so I need to improve it a little.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Oh, and how is it going with the Italian?
The Italian, I think it's okay, right? now I'm a little better because I know how to make sentences and how to speak the basic things with Italians, and how to. I think I have a lot of problems, but I need to practice a lot. But even if I know, I cannot speak that very easily because I need to practice a lot in order to speak that. For example, right now I know the sentence, but to speak that it's hard for me. So I need to adapt and I need to practice more in order to speak that very fluently.
Yeah, and it needs practice like everything.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, now to the last topic, women rights. Woo! What are your thoughts about women rights in general?
Okay, generally to express, I think women have the equal right together with men. So in everything, politics, economy, education, freedom, peace, I think anything. As if a man has the freedom of expression, a woman also has that. If a woman, if a man is a politician, a woman can be a politician too. I think it's the woman's right in the whole universe is unfair. For example, just let's judge with the presidents of countries. Actually, it's not impossible for a woman to be president of a country, but why don't we have just the presidents of women as the presidents of the countries as men are? So I think even if the woman in European countries or American countries or just I don't know anywhere of the world, they have equal rights with men in some cases, but in some cases they don't have. For example, still there is no woman who believes that she can be a president or believe that she can do whatever a man can do. So I think a woman has to be have to be presidents. Women have to be politicians. Women have to be economists. Women have to be scientists, and women have to have the right to educate easily as men can. And I think even if a woman is a housewife or decide to be a housewife, it should be according to her likes or her favor, not forcibly. And I think she has to follow whatever she wants. And I think even at home, even she decides to be a housewife, together with her husband, they have to do houseworks equally. If you are a woman, it doesn't mean you have to do all the things with your baby. A man also should take part in this.
I think it's very important to be respectful with each other and to also like tell your truth as a woman. Like if you don't want to be a housewife, you have to say, I don't want to be that, I want to do that, or like finding a solution with the society, with the politics, with the husband, with the family. Because I think that's often the issue that women, they don't listen to themselves, and they just do things because the people tell them, the system tell them what to do, tells them that the husband tells them.
Very easily, there are things that they don't like, but they are considered by the society to do that.
And that's why I think but I also think it's important for the women to speak up, to say, I don't want this, I want that. How can we find a solution? How can we change that? How can we do everything together? How can we create a new world together?
I think so, yes. I think a boy easily can go no to things that they don't want to do. But women, I think they have to say yes because they want to show themselves as a perfect woman and as a perfect woman who is considered by the society too. I think this is not good. I think we are perfect when we believe, when we are not afraid of our imperfection.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. And what do you think would help women in Afghanistan or all over the world to believe more in themselves?
I think what I want them to do is to just think of themselves. The first question, who am I and why am I created by God? Is it just because I'm created to live the life that is considered by the society, or to live the life that I like? So once you believe in the life in yourself, that you can live the life that you like, then I'm sure you can do everything, even if the thing is limited, even if the society considered you to do something else. I'm sure you would just achieve whatever you want, even if the situation is very harsh and hard. I think right now also there are some women in Afghanistan, even the Taliban are really harsh to them, and they are protesting, they are fighting for their rights, and they want their freedom. So there are women who, even if they are just punished by Taliban, but still they don't give up, and they are going up. I'm sure the future is from them, and they would receive the answer and the response of their hard works, the response of their beliefs, the response of their strength. So this is what I want all the women all around the world, not only in Afghanistan. And the second thing is just the ones who they are already, they believed in this and they are already in a position. I want them to give awareness to other women to do this too. I think if each one of us give this awareness to a woman who doesn't know, I think one day we will have the world who's equally divided between men and women, and there is no difference. There is no men to order a woman to do this or to do this, or there is no woman who accept to do all the things just because she's a woman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I think that's a perfect summary and closing sentence for everything. Thank you so much. It was so nice and interesting to listen to you. It's amazing what you're doing, and yeah, you're very, very inspiring.
Yeah, thank you so much. And so sorry if you heard some noises because I'm not living alone here. So
no problem. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much. And I will, if you have any links of you can just send it to me and I put it in the show notes. Otherwise, I will just link your Instagram that people can find you.
I think, yeah, that's the link of my Instagram.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Really, Mamoun.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much and have a nice day.
You too. All the best for you.
Okay, bye.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.